What's up, folks? The Sportsbook Killa. UFC is back. UFC Vegas 101. Don't miss it this Saturday. We're gonna start with the main event, the women's strawweight division. Mackenzie Dern versus Amanda Ribas. Mackenzie Dern is a third-degree Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, two-time Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion. She has a phenomenal ground game. Her boxing's weak though, but she does have a solid ground game. If she could wrestle, she'd be invincible. But she cannot take these girls down with wrestling, so she struggles. But if she could wrestle, oh my goodness, I bet on her every fight. But you know that saying, if my aunt had a scrotum, she'd be my uncle. So that's just what it is. She's fighting Amanda Ribas. Amanda Ribas is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. She's a judo black belt. She has good boxing, good takedown defense, and great cardio. This is going to be a tough one, y'all. If y'all don't want to sweat, you may want to lay off this fight right here. But I got to go with Amanda Ribas. She got the heart. She fights. She fights. And this is a 5-rounder. So if she can cancel a lot of the stuff on the ground that Mackenzie Dern is going to try to do and just keep it standing, I think Ribas has the better chance at winning. So I'm going to go with Amanda Ribas. I'm not betting strongly on her because who knows? Any mistake and Mackenzie Dern could get a submission. But I'm going to take Amanda Ribas to win this one. I'll put her in my parlays, and I'll be taking the over 1.5 round prop to go with it. Next fight. We got the men's middleweight division. Chris Curtis versus Roman Kopylov. I'm looking forward to this fight. Chris Curtis trains over at Extreme Couture. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu purple belt. Fights out of the southpaw stance. He has KO power. And Chris Curtis has good boxing. If nothing else, he has really good boxing and good cardio. Got to give him that. He's a little stiff, though. He's been in a lot of fights. His record is 31-11. He's been in a lot of fights, probably some nerve damage. He's a little stiff when he boxes. He's not fluid. Roman Kopylov, this guy is a hard, versatile striker. Fights out of the southpaw stance as well. Strong kicks. He kicks really strong. He has KO power. He has really good striking, Kopylov, and he has really good takedown defense. I gotta go Roman Kopylov. I mean, I've been putting money on him all week and all last week. As soon as I saw this fight come up, I jumped on Roman Kopylov, so I gotta go with him on this one. He's probably gonna be in my strong picks, and I'm gonna take the prop bet that the fight starts the second round. Next fight. We got the men's middleweight division again. We got Cesar Almeida versus Abdul Razak Alhassan. Cesar Almeida, his kickboxing is phenomenal. He has really good boxing. He has fast hands, strong kicks, real strong kicks. He has a strong chin, but his ground game is total garbage. He has a horrible, horrible ground game. Abdul Razak Alhassan has KO power. The guy can hit. He trains over at Team Elevation. He's a judo black belt. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu purple belt. He has decent boxing, but his cardio's poor. Razak Alhassan does have a chance at winning this fight. If he could get this fight to the ground, and he is a big, strong, muscular guy. If he could get the fight to the ground, he'll be just fine. But if it remains standing and Almeida can box him, he'll just kickbox him till Alhassan gets exhausted and just pick him apart. I'm going to lean Almeida, but I am a little nervous. I won't go heavy on him because I am nervous about him getting taken down. His ground game isn't that good. He can defend the takedown a little. He's okay at defending the takedown, but once he's on his back, it's pretty much a wrap. So I'm going to go with Almeida, not too heavy on him. And I'll take the prop bet that the fight starts the second round in this one. What we got? Next fight. Oh, man, I'm looking forward to this one. Men's featherweight division. Christian Rodriguez going up against Austin Bashi. Whew. If y'all want to see some fighting, this is going to be a good fight. Christian Rodriguez has a good ground game, good boxing, good cardio. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu purple belt. That's the thing about Christian Rodriguez. He's not dominant in any particular area, but he's good in pretty much all areas. Now, Austin Bashi, this guy has great wrestling. He's a hard, versatile striker. He has a phenomenal ground game, good cardio. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Hey, Austin Bashi is going to be in my strong picks. I think he beats Christian Rodriguez. Bashi kind of concerns me about getting caught with something, but his boxing's pretty good. He keeps his hands up close to his face. He's in good defensive posture when he boxes. I'm going with Austin Bashi all the way over Christian Rodriguez. I think Austin Bashi's boxing and jiu-jitsu mix would just be too much for him. Next fight, we got the men's welterweight division, Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Carlston Harris. This fight is pretty much even, pick 'em. Ponzinibbio, he's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt, though he doesn't go to the ground a whole lot. He has good boxing. He fights out of the orthodox stance. He has a really good left jab, strong chin, good cardio. Carlston Harris, he's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu brown belt. He has a good ground game, and he has okay boxing. The reason I say he has a good ground game because he did choke out Jeremiah Wells. But before he choked out Jeremiah Wells, he was getting dominated on the ground. So even though it's even and sometimes it shifts to one guy's the favorite, one guy's not, I'm going to go with Ponzinibbio. I know he's 37 years old, but if this fight comes down to the boxing, I think Ponzinibbio is the better boxer. So I got to go with Santiago Ponzinibbio to win this one. I'm not going to take a chance on the over-unders in this one, but I will go with Ponzinibbio for the win. Next fight, we got the men's welterweight division. Punahele Soriano versus Uros Medic. Soriano trains over at Extreme Couture. He's a judo brown belt, hard puncher. He has good takedowns. He has a good ground game, but his cardio's poor. Right around midway through that second round, you'll see him start to wear down a little bit. Uros Medic, he's a versatile striker and a hard puncher. He has good cardio, good kickboxing. His ground game's rather weak, though. You know, Medic has a kind of weak ground game. I think Uros Medic finds a way to win this fight. I do. I think he finds a way to win this fight over Soriano, especially as Soriano starts to fatigue. I'm going to take the prop bet that the fight starts the second round, and I go with Uros Medic to win. Next fight, we got the men's middleweight division. Marco Tulio versus Ihor Potieria. This is a very interesting fight. Very interesting. Tulio is like a 5-1 favorite. He is a hard, versatile striker. This is his UFC debut. He has good takedowns, a good ground game, very strong kicks. Potieria, he has good boxing. He has fast hands. He's a versatile striker. He throws a lot of stuff at you. Hands, kicks, he can do it all. He's a hard puncher too, and he has really good leg kicks. Ihor Potieria has not been a dominant fighter by any stretch of the imagination, but to make him a 5-1 underdog against or rather a 4-1 underdog, I'm sorry, because he's at plus 370 now. So to make him almost a 4-1 underdog against a UFC debut guy who doesn't look super strong. Tulio's good, don't get me wrong. He's a good fighter, but he doesn't look anywhere near invincible or unstoppable. I'll take a chance at plus 370. I'll take a chance on Potieria. You know, won't go heavy on him. Won't need to. You're getting almost 4-1 odds on your money. I'm going to take a chance on Potieria pulling off this upset. If he doesn't, oh well. But I'm going to take a chance with him because I just can't go give up 5-1 on the UFC debut guy that doesn't look super strong. Next fight. We got the men's lightweight division. This is a tricky one here. This is a very tricky one. Thiago Moises versus Trey Ogden. Thiago Moises, he's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt. He has good boxing. He's a hard, versatile striker. He has good takedowns and a really, really good ground game. He's been in there with some of the best of them. Islam Makhachev, he's been in there with him. Moises got some experience. Trey Ogden, he's fought some really good fighters too. He's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt. He has good cardio, really good cardio. Ogden has a good ground game. He has a good, strong left jab. He has good boxing. He's a versatile kicker. He kicks from a lot of different angles. So it's going to be a very interesting fight. I'm going to lean Thiago Moises. He's about a 2-1 favorite right now. I'm going to lean Moises, and I'm going to be I can see this fight lasting a little bit. So I'm going to take the over 1.5 round prop and the over 2.5 round prop in this one. But I'll be taking Moises. He's disappointed me a lot in the past, though. But I'm going to take a chance on him again against Trey Ogden and hope that Moises can get this win. Next fight. We got the men's welterweight division. Preston Parsons going up against Andreas Gustafsson. Preston Parsons is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt. He has decent wrestling. He has good takedowns, a good ground game, good boxing. He has good cardio. Gustafsson, he has KO power. He has a ridiculously hard right hand. He is a pressure fighter. He has a strong chin, good strong left jab, and good cardio. This is going to be a tough fight, but Gustafsson is relatively new to the UFC. He is the favorite. And like I say, he normally comes out guns blazing. He comes out firing that right hand, and if it lands, you go to sleep. That's just what it is. You go to sleep. Preston Parsons has been in there with some really good fighters. He has good UFC experience. I got to take a chance on him pulling off the upset. I do. I'm going with Preston Parsons to win this one if he doesn't get knocked out in that first round. So I'm going with Preston Parsons. I'll put something on him, and hopefully he can get the job done. Next fight. Who we got here? We got the men's flyweight division. We got Jose Johnson versus Felipe Bunes. Jose Johnson, he has a good ground game. He's a versatile striker, good kickboxer, good cardio. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu purple belt, but he has submitted a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt in the UFC. So that's very interesting. Felipe Bunes or Bunes, however he wants to say it, he's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. He has a good ground game, good boxing, and Bunes has good takedowns. Jose Johnson is 6 feet. Bunes is going to be 5 foot. Is 5'6", listed at 5'6". I got to go with Jose Johnson. I think the length of him is going to be a problem for Bunes. I do, or Bunes. I think that's going to be a problem for him. So I'm going to go with Jose Johnson to win this one, and I'll be taking the over 1.5 round prop as well. Next fight, we got the women's flyweight division. Ernesta Carcate versus Nicole Cagliari. Carcate is a 2-time kickboxing champ. She has good takedown defense, good ground game, good kickboxing, great cardio. I think she's like she a swimmer or something? I think she's like a swimmer, something like that. But anyway, she has phenomenal cardio. Nicole Cagliari, she's a pressure fighter. She has a weak ground game, though, and she has decent cardio. I'm going to go with Ernesta Carcate in this one because watching her fight, she's tall. Nothing about her fighting is going to get you excited. But I think her height, Cagliari is 5'3", Carcate is 5'9". I think her height might just get her over in this fight right here. She's not the best striker. When you see her strike, it's not super great, but what can you say? I think she'll do enough to win this one right here, though. I do. And she has decent takedown defense. I've seen her takedown defense. She can defend these takedowns. So I'll go Carcate to win this one. Next fight. Let's see what we got. We got Magomed Gasiasulov versus Bruno Lopez. Oh, boy. Gasiasulov is from Dagestan. So you already know where I'm going with this one. He has good takedowns, great wrestling, great ground game, great cardio. And right now, he's roughly just about a 2-1 favorite. Bruno Lopez he has good boxing, but he's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. He has a good ground game, good cardio, good left jab. But this is his UFC debut. And I got to go with the Dagestani Gasiasulov in this one. I got to. And I'll be taking over 1.5 round prop as well. But I think the ground game of Gasiasulov is just going to be too much. And wrestling normally crushes jiu-jitsu in UFC. So that'll be that. I'll take the over 1.5 round prop. And I'll take Gasiasulov to win. Next fight, we got the women's strawweight division. Fatima Klein versus Victoria Dudakova. Fatima Klein is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. She has good takedowns, a good ground game, good boxing, strong kicks. Victoria Dudakova, she has good boxing. She's a hard puncher. She has weak takedowns, though, and she has a weak ground game. She does possess some very strong kicks. Her cardio starts to fade around the end of the second round, early third round. I gotta go with Fatima Klein, but Fatima Klein is like an 8-1 favorite. I'm not giving up minus 800 to bet on her because due to COVID, don't look like she's just gonna be an easy walkover. To be honest with you, I don't see it. So I think Fatima Klein's ground game will win her this fight. But to give up 8-1, that's a bit much. But if I had to bet, if the odds were better, I would take Fatima Klein on this one. I can't do an over under because it could go all kinds of ways. It could be a long drawn out fight. Then Fatima Klein could get an early submission. So it's hard to do an over under. But Klein is more than likely going to win the fight. Let's see. Do we have another fight here? Last one. This fight was changed at the last second. We got Narulo Aliyev. Now he was fighting Ashmuz, but now he's fighting Joe Selecki. This is a lot different. Okay, let me give you the ballistics on Aliyev. Aliyev, he's a Khabib Nurmagomedov fan, and he has very strong takedowns, like Khabib. Great wrestling, like Khabib. He's 9-0, so he's kind of new. He's new, but he has a really good ground game, and he has relentless grappling, just like Khabib Nurmagomedov. Joe Selecki, he has a good ground game as well. He's a pressure fighter. He likes to pressure you, get you up against the cage, try and take you down. And when he gets you down, he has a good, solid ground game. The only problem he has is when he goes up against really good wrestlers. That's the only problem. Went up against Grant Dawson. He threatened Grant Dawson with the guillotine in the first round. And then after that, he just spent the rest of the fight on his back. He has a problem with strong wrestlers. And if he goes to that guillotine he had Grant Dawson in, that may not help him because I've seen Aliyev escape those tight guillotine chokes a few times. So I think Aliyev wins this one. Right now, he's about a 4-1 favorite. I got to go with Aliyev's grappling in this one over Joe Selecki, especially with Selecki taking his fight at the last minute. But Aliyev is 22 years old. And sometimes those young guys, what scares me is sometimes those young guys make ridiculous mistakes. And I hope he doesn't make a mistake and get caught up in a rear naked choke or some guillotine that he didn't think his way through before he went for the takedown. But I'm going to go with Aliyev to win. And I'll take the over 1.5 round prop and the over 2.5 round prop in this one. So that's UFC Vegas 101, y'all. Be patient with your parlays. Try to do no more than 2-3 pick parlays. If you're going to get greedy, with your parlays, just keep in mind, you're going to be adding more risk to it. Not saying don't do it, but you're going to be adding some more risk. So try to make sure you do a lot of 2 and 3 picks to get you some solid money coming in and do whatever you want with the 7 and 8 leg parlays. Good luck to y'all this weekend.